What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, and give this video a like. Today we're back at it with a haircut tutorial. I will be doing a kid's cut in this video with a little design on the right side of the head. I haven't done a design on this channel yet, so I am going to go ahead and basically walk through my process with how I do designs and how, I just tackle these little things that may be difficult for some people. But I appreciate everybody for clicking on this video. I appreciate everybody who is subscribed to the channel and supports the channel. It's been a week since I put out a video, so it's time to upload another one. I am trying to do two videos a week, but it's been kind of like 2 or 1 video a week. Sometimes, you go through these creative droughts. You don't know what to do or what to record, and sometimes things get a little bit monotonous as a creator too. So if you're a creator, drop a comment down below and let me know that you've been through the same thing, because sometimes it's very hard to have a full shop schedule. You're a father, you're a husband, and then getting all those little things in between done between that, but I'll bear y'all all the excuses, but we're gonna get back on the schedule, get back on the grind with the YouTube videos. So I'm gonna be pushing to put out 2 videos a week for y'all, so just stay tuned. I got more content coming, but like I said, I appreciate everybody who vibes with the content and continually clicks on these videos and shows love. So without further ado, let's get to the cut.
Look, I just flipped the switch. Charm on the beat.
What's good, everybody? We're gonna hop right into this haircut here. So you can see we are picking the hair out all the way around the head, making sure everything is symmetrical. What you do to the right side of the head, you're gonna go ahead and do the left side of the head to make sure that we have an even cut all the way around. You've seen them before in what we're working with here. So we're gonna be doing a low mid drop fade. We're gonna go ahead and drop it towards the back and towards the front. That way we can keep the C cups darker. But as you can see here, like I said, we are picking out the hair all the way around the head. And if your client's haircut or your hair is curled up and tangled up, you want to make sure that you're using some water to get those tangles out. But right here we have a comb, and I'm combing all the hair down that I will be using, that I will be fading for the side fade. Now you can see here, like I said, I dipped it in the front and towards the back. And by doing this, we can keep the C cups dark, and we're going to create a drop shape towards the occipital bone. Now I'm making my bald line using the JRL 2020C clippers or 2020F clippers, and we're just making sure that we get everything as neat as possible. By making neat guidelines, you won't get so lost in the sauce. But right here we have the half guard on there, lever closed, and I'm creating my first panel of hair to fade into. We're not making too big of an area to fade into, because we want to kind of just take this little by little, step by step. But we are going to extend this blend and get ourselves a lot of contrast. So you can see here, making that first panel of hair to fade into. After we get done making this panel of hair to fade into, we will take the half guard off and start our process of fading up and getting that area knocked out and blended. So you can see here, I opened the lever to the first notch on the JRL clippers, and we're just knocking out that line, fading up, using the entire blade, using the corner of the blade when we get to little curved parts in the hair. I open the lever a little bit more, and we're just fading up and just following our process that we always use. So if you follow my channel, if you follow my tutorials, you know that I do fade up, create my panels of hair to fade into, then I fade those out, go to the next panel of hair, fade that out, and that's how I tackle every single haircut that I do. So you can see here, we're attacking it all the way until we have that lever open. Now, if you have a process in place, it is a lot easier to attack your haircuts that way, because you don't want to go into a haircut blind, not knowing what you're going to do. You want to make sure that for every haircut that you do have a process, because by having a process, it makes cutting hair a lot easier. Any texture of hair, you could use the same process. So right here we have that one guard on there, and we're making another panel of hair to fade into. After I get that one guard panel created, we will revert back to that half guard. And that is basically all we're doing, is stacking guards up the side of my client's head to make sure we get this haircut knocked out. But as you can see here, you want to make sure that you're combing the hair down as you are fading, to make sure that you are feeding the hair directly against the grain into the blades. And that is the way that you will get your best fade, get your best blend. Now you can see here, opening up the lever, fading up, and just attacking this side fade. Now for this haircut, I am going to do one side, and then the other side I will time lapse, and we will get to the design portion later on in this video as well. But that haircut is already looking blurry. Like I said, once you have a procedure in place, it is hard to fill, because you already know what you're doing. You're not shooting from the hip. You already have a plan of attack. You have a blueprint for success by having a process. Now I gotta say, my JRLs, I love these clippers, but something malfunctioned and I had to get them sent back in so I can get them taken care of. Shout out to JRL for a warranty, so that helps out a lot. But they are sent in. If you see my last vlog, the JRLs, they just stopped working for me, so I had to get those taken care of, because I do love these clippers. They are the best clipper in my opinion, so getting them back in the arsenal is crucial and a must, because right now I'm rocking with some corded seniors. Corded seniors are the GOAT. They are a classic, but I miss my JRLs. But we had that 1.5 guard on there. We created another panel of hair to fade into. Then we reverted back to our 1 guard, and we're lever playing, knocking out this area. Open up our lever, slightly fading up, opening up our lever, slightly fading up, until we have that area completely knocked out. Now you can see here in the C-cup area, we still have a shadow, an area where we can create another, create an edge up for him, create a curve right there. And that's the purpose of dropping your guideline in the front, dropping your bald line towards the corner of his eyes when you start that fade. Now right here I have that 1.5 guard lever open, and I'm just fading into that bulk of the hair on the top, and just trying to get this blended as best as I possibly can before I freehand it. But this is the most difficult part of cutting coarse hair, when they have when the client has a lot of hair on the top. It's that area towards the ridge that is the most difficult part to blend. So you want to make sure you're combing the hair where it wants to naturally lay, because if you try to force that hair to lay where it doesn't want to lay, that's when you're going to get a lot of lines. You're going to get a lot of dark spots in the haircut. So you want to make sure that you are laying the hair down where it properly needs to lay. A lot of the combing and parting the hair where it needs to go is a lot of the crucial work that needs to be done. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to those little details. Now after we do that, after we get done with our guard system, I am freehanding, just going straight up and off the ridge of the haircut, the ridge of the head, to make sure that we keep the shape that he's looking for. He don't want no overhang. He wants it all to flow together. He wants it all to blend. So that's what we're trying to attack right now. But you can see it's coming out nice and blurry, nice and blended. The haircut is flowing, which is what we want. And freehanding is an art, it's not just something that anybody can do. If you can freehand, I applaud you, because it was a difficult thing to learn. You got to have very, very, disciplined hands. You can't be shaky. You got to, really train your hands to do this gracefully, because it's easy to patch somebody when you're freehanding. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to what you're doing, and slow and steady wins the race. But you can see here I'm doing a little bit of detail work. I see a little dark spots that I have to knock out. So I'm using the corner of my blade, lever playing, and just knocking out these little areas. Now after I'm done, I am going to take those Los Cut It Babyliss Influencer Edition trimmers with the DLC 2.0 blade. These are straight out the box. I did not zero gap these, and we're just knocking out that leftover hair towards the bottom of his head. But this haircut is coming out icy. I'm loving how the fade's looking. I'm loving the shape that we're getting on the top. It is flowing together. But yeah, we're just getting this area knocked out. And I think that I do the edge up before we get to this side. Yep. So we're freehanding the top of the haircut here. We're getting all these loose hairs, all these stragglers that are hanging out the top, and just getting them all shaped up. And we are gonna, I believe, curl sponge this haircut towards the end. I'm not too sure, I forget. But we're just shaping it, getting some bulk knocked out, so that way it gives it a better shape, a nicer shape, a more clean shape. And I am going directly from his forehead up and over, just to knock out that area in the front towards the forehead, so we don't have no overhang. So you will be able to see the edge up, and it will be visible for the client. And by freehanding this area right here where I'm going with the ridge right there, there is going to be a part towards the front of the edge up that I am doing right there. So I'm just knocking that out, laying down the groundwork before I get to that edge up portion. And you want to make sure that you get a good round shape if that's what the client wants. And just make sure you keep it symmetrical on both sides of the haircut. Now I did lay down some hair spritz, and that is just to keep those hairs in place while I do this edge up. And you can see here it's coming out crispy. Those Babyliss trimmers, these ones that I got from Forward Barber Supply, hitters. So shout out to them for hooking it up. I'm sorry, that was a Clipper Depot. I got these from Clipper Depot. But shout out to Babyliss for just constantly putting out great products. You know, I slept on the Skeleton FX for a long time, but I had to finally get these when I seen these, and I am extremely satisfied with these trimmers. Hands down, some of the best trimmers I've ever used, if not the best trimmers I've ever used. I'm pretty sure that opinion is debatable by a lot of people, but you've seen the C cups coming out crispy. I did time lapse this side of the hair, but what we did on the right side is exactly what we do on this side of the head, and you can see here it's all coming together. We're freehanding everything. We're detailing little areas that we see. We're brushing, combing, and making sure that we get this all knocked out. Crispy edge up, blurry fade. But here we go. I'm clearing out a little bit of area right here to where I can lay down a part, kind of from the left side of his forehead. It's gonna be kind of like a Z shape, a backward Z shape type of design that we're gonna do. But just by clearing out this area, it gives me room to work in this area. All I'm doing is using the corner of the blade, letting the trimmer do the work, and just following through, creating a rough draft for this design. Now, once I do the design and I finish using the trimmers, I do go over everything with a razor to make sure that it is all crispy. Because a razor is the crispest you're gonna get anything. The razor is gonna give you the most precision at the end of the day. You know, trimmers are great, but a razor is going to always give you the best possible precision that you can have. But you can see me working at this line here. I'm flipping the trimmer over, back and forth, making sure we get a good sized line. You don't want it too thick, you don't want it too thin to where you can't really tell the crispness of the haircut. So just make sure that you are flipping that trimmer over and going on the opposite side of the line. Excuse my elbow here, but after this right here, we're gonna go ahead and attach another line, and then it's gonna be 3 lines total that you're gonna do that are all going to connect to each other. So this line is gonna go up towards the ridge of the head, and then we're gonna swoop it towards the back, towards the occipital bone. But you wanna make sure that you are just letting the trimmers do their thing. You don't want to like really dig or really press hard on the trimmer. You don't want a heavy hand when doing designs, because people's skin is sensitive, their head is sensitive, so you want to make sure that you're not, you know, making it an uncomfortable service. But this design's coming out clean. I like how it's looking. And you know, designs are a difficult thing to do. You got to be somewhat artistic in order to pull it off. You got to see what flows and, you know, how it's gonna all lay together. So shout out to everybody that be doing designs. I don't do them much, but when I do them, you know, I have a lot of fun with it. It's always a good time. But right here, like I said, I go over everything with a razor to make sure that we are getting this line as crisp as possible for our client. But shout out to everybody who's sticking through this video, who is paying attention, who is getting some nuggets. I thoroughly appreciate everybody who is subscribed to this channel. Your support does not go unnoticed, and I truly thank you. But there's that cut. It's coming out nice. Now, I don't believe that I curl sponged it at the end. I keep it shaped up the way it is here. But you want to give yourself time when you're doing designs, because you want to give out the best possible, you know, outcome that you can to your client. You know, when I do designs, I always give myself for the service at least an hour and a half, because you never know what type of design your client's going to bring to you. Or, you know, so in Booksy, I have it set for, I believe, an hour and a half, just to make sure that we have enough time to get the design done nice and crispy. Now, for a lot of the kid clients that I do have, I do use a shaver for those C cups. It just makes for an easier transition for them. But there's the haircut. There's the design we have on the right side. Blurry fade, shaped up on the top, crispy edge up. And I just really appreciate my client bringing his little cousin to come get service, get a haircut by me. But there's the cut, y'all. I appreciate everybody for checking out the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and until next time, God bless.